Hey everybody, it's ShadowStar here for more Doctor Who reviews. This time, episode 5, Survivors of the Flux. And there was a lot in this episode. And this time, I actually enjoyed most of it. Okay, like always, the cliffhanger was pretty much undone in about 3 seconds, so that crazy cool cliffhanger of the Angel Doctor, yeah, we just erased that. She's fixed. No, nothing to worry about there. We fix all the cliffhangers here. But there was a lot going on, so let's start with the companion's story. For one thing, the professor is still here, which is great because he's a great character, and I really enjoyed this story. I'm glad that this gives Yaz and Dan more screen time because, they've now been here for a handful of years trapped in the past, which is great. I really enjoyed a lot of their characters in this episode, which was great, seeing them go to different places. The highlight, of course, has to be that completely random monk who... What did we achieve with him? But still, he was such a fun random character, and all that just to summon the dog people who didn't end up finding them anyway. So, yeah. But still, I enjoyed all their miscellaneous adventures, and they finally meet up with the 1800s man, as I've been calling him, and he finally becomes plot relevant. Even though at first he shows up and it's completely random, and I'm thinking, oh boy, here he is again. But then he's actually involved in the plot near the end. Thank goodness for that. But anyway, the highlight of this episode has to be Unit. For one thing, we see the origins of Unit, which was great. And then we get to see, flashbacks to Unit's past. And the building actually looks like the building from the classic series, which is great. We even get some references to some classic characters, which is great. And we get some explanations to what we didn't like about Unit. For example, way back in Resolution, when we were annoyed that Unit had supposedly been missing and Kate Stewart missing, now we have an answer because supposedly she had to hide from this guy. Assuming that was always the case, Kate Stewart had to go into hiding, and that's why she wasn't there in Resolution. This is brilliant. Chibnall's just gathering his own tracks now. Oh my god, I'm praising Chibnall. God help me. But honestly, yeah, the Unit stuff, and then that villain, that what was he, Grand Serpent? What was his plan? Just to go the long way round to let some Sontarans in? And the Sontarans are back? And then there's a whole crap load of enemies in the next time trailer? What? That is one thing I'm worried about. It's like, okay, there is one episode left, and there's still a whole lot of stuff. Like, Bell was in this episode with the dog people. Vinder was in this episode for about 3 seconds. He's transported to some place where we finally see where Diane is after all this time. So, yeah, that happened, I guess. Seriously, what's going on with that? That happened for about 3 seconds. Oh, boy. And then, Swarm and Azure were doing this episode, and then they weren't in it much until they were in it at the end. Oh, and we finally meet the division leader, that woman from episode 3. Some people had theorized she's the Doctor's mother, and, well, she is. Not a literal mother, but the adoptive mother we saw in Timeless Child. And as much as I'd had issues with some of the Timeless Children stuff, I actually really enjoyed getting all this information. I actually really enjoyed getting all the information about the division, the origins of the Doctor. There's a lot to unpack in that next time trailer, but we'll save that for next time. And then she's just killed by Swarm and Azure, which makes me wonder, does Swarm and Azure just kill people, or is there some kind of misplacement thing? Because, I don't know, it seems kind of outlandish to just get rid of a substantial character. It's like, here, we're introduced to the Doctor's mother, and she's dead. So, and we know that woman can regenerate, so... Was she the woman from the end of time? Maybe. Hey, some people wanted to beat the Doctor's mother, and here you go. Let's just hope it doesn't pan out that we know who the Doctor's actual mother is. I doubt it. Considering the Doctor supposedly came from the whole different universe, people seem to be forgetting that. And the division is outside another universe. So, yeah. But seriously, I am very curious about the finale. I just hope they can hold it up well, because Chibnall may be good at building things up, but can he stick the landing? That's the troublesome part. I enjoyed this episode, but can he make it stick? That's what we're all worried about. Like, I really enjoyed everything in this episode. Kate Stewart was really good. Like, honestly, her scenes were really good. Like, for anyone doubt, I mean, I don't get why people would doubt he can write Kate Stewart. Chibnall did write The Power of Three, so he knows how to write Kate Stewart, and honestly, the unit stuff in this episode, it's like he's trying to clean up every little unit mess he or other people have made. The unit stuff, like I said, Chibnall's a fan of the classic era. He knows what he's doing, and yeah. So honestly, the unit stuff was great. Kate was honestly really good in this episode. Her scenes where she stood up to the guy were great. And like, obviously, as we can see from the next time trailer, she's still going to be around. So all these characters are still going to be around in the next time episode. Some people are worried that some of these plot threads might continue into the 3 specials, which I'm a little worried about, because that's a long wait. Like, granted, one of them's only at New Year's, but which ones? Like, okay, this whole season is called The Flux, so presumably the Flux is solved by next episode, which, although the Flux has always been happening, it feels like we've kind of ignored it for the past 4 episodes. Like, it was this crazy huge thing in episode 1, and then we're just talking about it in this episode. It's like, seriously, what's going on with the Flux? I suppose we'll find out next steps. All this review is saying, I suppose we'll find out in the finale. And that lays in the problem. We have 1 episode left. We better find out in the finale. Oh, goodness me. But seriously, there's all these plot threads. All of them have to come together. The Sontarans and the dog people, Belle and Vinder, like, everything. Unit's gonna be great. There's Daleks and Cybermen in the next time trailer. There was an Ood in this time. But seriously, I do agree that Weeping Angel plot twist from last episode was cool, and now we've just undone it. And what happened to last episode? Like, I thought they were not only trapped in the past, but in a bubble. But now Yaz and Dan are just free to go? I feel like we skipped one too many scenes between the episodes. Oh well, that's always going to be the way. Chibnall's like Moffat. He doesn't like to have the cliffhangers pick up exactly where we left them. But I was enjoying this. Like, there were parts in this episode where I'm sitting down going, I'm really enjoying this. Like, I was enjoying the Division. I was enjoying the Division leader, the Doctor's mother. It's Tecteun. So, I'm gonna give this an 8.5. Room for improvement is the fact that we just ignored the cliffhanger from last time, and it's got a lot of heavy lifting to do with the finale, but it just puts a lot of pressure on the finale to be a good episode. Like, you got all this, can the finale pay it off? I don't know. And I'm really not sure how this is going to end. If one thing, it's at least got a lot of people throwing crazy theories out there. Like, think about it. Nothing happened in Series 11. Things were kind of back and forwards in Series 12. At least people are talking about Doctor Who. At least fans are throwing out crazy theories. Some of them are stupid, but at least we're talking about Doctor Who, and I've missed that. If there's one thing I've liked about this series, it's great to be talking about Doctor Who again. Anyway, I will see you next week for the finale of Series 13 of Doctor Who, and other things as well. See you next time, guys.